Keep your ugly comments to yourself. No one cares.
I don't have any ugly comments.
Really? You don't look in the mirror in the morning and be like, ooh, I have comments. So many comments.
Crushed.
You do your daily affirmation.
You know, I thought for a minute there that I missed you while you were sick, but no.
You didn't. No,
but
you didn't miss me one little bit.
No, I'm sorry that you're here now.
Yeah. Stuck with me for 4 episodes.
Oh, all right, let's do it fast. Pull the Band-Aid. Pull the Band-Aid. Hey, dolls, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 6, and we're shotgunning the rest of it. I can't be bothered to do a separate one for each. We're 4 behind. You were sick.
Things happened.
Welcome, my illegitimate drag daughter, Wilhelmina Boxfarts. Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling much better.
Good, because we've lost a lot of filming because of your delicate disposition.
It was touch and go for a while there. It was very touch and go.
Well, that's why nurses won't come to your house. You're too touchy and go-y.
It's just the consumption. It was fine.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I was coughing up blood into a little handkerchief. It was very Moulin Rouge.
Very Camille. Very
Camille.
Yeah. I'm not making it. Before we get started, I need to thank this week's Tipperdoos. We've got Surrealist Girl X, a.k.a. Life on Mars, and Paisley Polar Bear. Thanks, dolls. I couldn't do this without your support, and I appreciate it. I also need to send a shout out to Dave and Orlon, Cooey Boys. They are Chris's grandfather and his partner. I think that's right. God, if I'm aging you, I apologize. But Chris, who follows me, got Dave and Orlon onto the Fingerdoo review, and now they can't get enough. And I just want to say welcome to the Fingerdoo family. I hope you enjoy. Please don't forget to leave a message, and this goes for everyone. Leave a message. Let me know what you think, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Usually it's this one that's ugly.
I don't want to know the ugly.
I'm just saying. So the way we're going to do this is we are just going to be talking about the main challenges per episode and the runway and who won. Because all the rest of it, who cares?
Fluff.
It's all water under the bridge. If you don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you're missing nothing. If you do watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you've already seen it.
You know what happens. Yeah, you just want to hear our shady comments.
Yeah. Mostly this one.
Speaking of shady, they say goodbye to Chanel. They
finally
all pretended to be sad to see her go and release a wiped off her overly long lip-sync message. Bye, Chanel.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Kyron and Lavoie, a double win for the Snatch
Shared
game.
win.
Yeah, do you think that was legitimate? Do you think that was worth, they deserved it?
I would have given it to Lavoie on her own, but I don't hold it against Kyron for having a shared win on this one, because they work so well. They bounce off each other.
And I don't know. I don't think that Kyron is particularly keeping score, like in a vengeful way.
Well, so I was going to say, well, she's definitely keeping score.
Oh, yeah. That's a competition. Why are you there if you're not keeping score? But she didn't seem put out that Lavoie won, but she seemed thrilled that she had as well. So that keeps them both in the same, they're 3 and 2 now for the badges. So this week's Maxi Challenge was the Rusical, Pop of the Tops. Because Lavoie and Kyron won the Snatch game, they got to assign the roles for the Rusical, which had a couple of them worried because they already feel like Kyron's had it too good for too long already, and now she gets to pick her role.
Well, it seemed like everyone kind of got what they wanted. Lil picked Cilla Black because she's not a mover or shaker. Lavoie wanted Shirley Bassey because she does Shirley Bassey.
Yeah, and nobody wanted Shirley Bassey because most of them really don't know who she is.
Kyron wanted George Michael because he's had success playing boy.
The thing that surprised me the most was Relisa wanting Adele. Because Relisa explained that she doesn't sing. She sings in the shower, that's it. So she's not even a singer. And Adele, the one thing you have to do with Adele is sing.
Chera and Octavia got to fight over the role of Jerry Halliwell.
So Chera and Octavia had to do a little audition. And Octavia got the Jerry Halliwell part, and Chera got the Kylie Minogue part.
With her non-British diva. And then who was that? Oh, Marmalade got Elton John, speaking of divas.
I was excited to see her do Elton John. I mean, the costume for an Elton John impersonation would do a lot of the work.
No one knew he was gay. Yeah. No one knew.
No one.
What a shock.
They got to rehearse their parts with Michelle Visage and Jono. Cute. Boy. So cute. And I think everyone did fairly well. Like, they all seemed to sing. I was very impressed with Relisa.
If you lower everyone's expectations, then it's very easy to exceed them.
The one person who really surprised me was Marms. Like, she really belted it out.
She wanted it. She went for it. She threw herself into it.
Yeah. But as for everyone else, well done. Yeah, good casting.
Good job.
Yep.
Nicely done. No.
And then it was off to choreo with Claudemar Neto and his assistant Abs. His name was Abs. His name was Abs.
His name wasn't just sexy little thing.
No, well, maybe that's what he calls him, but that's what he said.
Abs.
Yep.
They're my best feature.
Yeah. Okay, then don't wear shirts.
That's why I call you the back of your head getting further and further away in the distance. It's your best feature.
I have to say I was very impressed with Octavia. She really not only seemed to get the choreo steps down right away, but gave them a lot of finesse right away. Like, she looked stage ready while she was rehearsing.
Yeah, she brought a lot of Octavia to it.
Yeah.
Almost feels like it's cranked up just like half a notch.
A little too high, yeah. Chera seemed to feel she dodged a bullet watching Octavia do her.
Oh yeah, you could see her wiping some metaphorical sweat off of her metaphorical brow.
Metaphorically.
And Lavoie seemed to enjoy the opening bit of her choreo was just being carried around.
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah.
I could do that. Yeah.
Pick me carry Lavoie around?
No, be carried around.
You're not famous enough for that. While the queens got ready for the Rusical, Octavia and Chera had a little shady conversation about wanting to see Kyron get knocked down a peg.
I get that it's annoying when someone has a lot of confidence and then delivers. I get it. I get it. If you're not doing as well, you feel a little some kind of way. You're like, well, I hope she breaks her leg. But girls, come on, claws in.
Yeah.
Now's not the time.
And then it was time for the Rusical. Pop of the tops. Lil did a fantastic job.
I thought Lil did a fabulous job off the top. She set the stage, she set the scene.
She was also on stage more than anybody and also performed in everyone else's number. So for somebody who wasn't confident about dancing, she sure did a lot of it.
But it was okay because Lavoie was immediately up and distracted us all.
So funny. When they picked her up and then let her down right away, her face...
The worst part of her part of it was that the dancers were wearing very unattractive, very baggy shorts. The shorts and the shoes, they just looked like they'd come off a work site. I was very disappointed in what the dancers were wearing. If you're having boys on there for me to ogle, give me something to ogle.
Yes.
Give me something to work with.
Yes.
My spank bank isn't going to fill itself.
Oh, perfect. Marm impressed the hell out of me with her Elton John.
I didn't like the song, I have to say.
No, none of the songs really. I'm going to say none of the songs really stood out for me. There were a couple. Elton John's wasn't good, but there were at least elements of Elton John songs in it, like musically, so... Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Definitely gave us the 70s Elton John that I think we all wanted.
Kyron impressed the hell out of me with his George Michael, and his choreography did a great job, and I was very impressed with his George Michael.
I was confused by the wig. I was confused by the performance. I was confused by the song. I don't think I like this. In retrospect, I don't think I like this Rusical.
I still think that the best Rusical is either Glamazonian Airways or the one with...
Rosemary's Baby Shower. Rosemary's Baby Shower.
Funny.
That is the one that is my bar. That's my bar.
Yeah.
This did not be my bar.
Yeah.
Octavia hopped out of a piano, and that was the most interesting thing about her performance. I did think that Relisa did a really good job.
The best.
I was not expecting anything out of her. She looked gorgeous. She had so many clothes on. I didn't recognize her at first. I'm like, who the hell is that?
The wig was great. The outfit was great.
She didn't try to do an Adele impression.
Not at all. But she sang beautifully. Where did that come from?
The shower, apparently.
Oh, my God. Well, she should be in the shower more often because that was a great performance. And then when she cockneyed it up, it's very funny. Was it an Adele impersonation? Well, no, but... We knew who she was doing.
It was good times.
Yeah, I was very impressed. Also, I think I was very impressed because I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah. Low expectations.
Yeah. Aim low. You know who else did a good job? Chera as Kylie.
I really enjoyed. This is one of the few songs that I was like,
it was a great little song.
The song is catchy. The song is funny. Chera did a great job. I thought she looked good. I'm singing it in her Australian accent. It was so funny.
Is that what she was doing?
I think that's what she was trying to do. It was very funny. An Irish person doing an Australian accent, just a good time.
Oh my God, yeah. There was a lot of vowels battling each other on that stage.
There was a lot of colonialism at war with itself.
And then Lil went and ruined her fabulous Scylla by dancing.
Yeah.
It was quite funny because she did such a good job hosting.
And then notice,
No, and then even the little dancing that she did in the background with other queens was fine. because she wasn't the focus. But then when it was all about her, it was like, oh.
Yeah. I kind of forgot that she was going to have her own number. I just thought that her job was just to host it. I thought, well done, Lil, very smart. And then, we've got, okay, oops.
Yep. Cilla Black. And then it was time for the runway. Category is Night of 1,000 Princess Dianas. Well, Lil went first, and of course somebody had to do the wedding dress, and so she did. And it was the biggest meringue you ever saw.
So poofy.
Yeah, Ruth thought there were 2 other people under there with her. Maybe there was, we don't know.
Who knows?
But then she dropped that dress faster than you can say divorce, and she was wearing her revenge dress, but in leather.
A little version.
Yeah, because I think the original one was velvet.
Or something.
Something not leather.
Yeah, Lil went for something a little more BDSM-y that kind of, made sense with all of her tattoos. I thought it was very, very smart of her.
Of course, I gave Lil a Fingerdoo. I wish I could give her 2 because both dresses look great. She looked great in both. Yeah, well done. Release's Lady Di look was odd. Not only was this dress odd, like this is one of those weeks where they were running out of fashion. You know what I mean? But clearly, Princess Diana did not want to be where she was, because most of the pictures are of her rolling her eyes and not being happy, which didn't make the dress look any better. And it was just a coat and hat, but yellow. I like that Release kind of gave it a gold shimmery quality, but it didn't help.
She tried it. It still felt very, flight attendant adjacent. And she was really channeling that eye-rolling Princess Diana.
Yeah. I'm going to give Relisa a Fingerdoo because she committed to it. She even tried to elevate it a little, but I think it was down to Relisa wanting to pick something no one else would pick.
Pick something ugly.
Yep, there you go, every time. Yep. Charity was next as Princess Margaret. Sorry, Margaret Thatcher. No, so Princess Diana. Yeah. I didn't hate this dress, but it looked a lot like the last one she wore.
It looked like the Doctor Who one that she'd repurposed.
Yeah.
And it was okay as the Doctor Who dress.
Yeah. It was better than what she wore.
Than the
original dress she wore with Prince Charles. Yeah, I thought I didn't like that dress as much as I liked what Chera was wearing because it was a little more asymmetrical. It just was more body complimentive. Octavia wore the ugliest thing she's ever worn on that runway and the worst wig to date. She doesn't have
worse than the barrister's wig?
Worse.
Really?
I thought this was the worst wig. It was just, there was nothing Lady Di about it. And that dress was hideous.
At first I was like, ooh, fun, green, sparkly. And then, oh no.
This was a dress that she wore to the opening of a musical in London's West End. And from what I could tell from pictures, it looks like either somebody made a Lady Di doll version of that dress or there was a Lady Di doll in that dress. But either way, I feel like that's the reason that Octavia went with that, just because she thought it was more iconic. But it was hideous. Lady Di would come back from the dead and slap her face.
Yeah. Drive you right into the wall of the tunnel.
Yeah. Terrible.
Too soon?
I love Kyron. Kyron was another queen that had 2 looks, and she started with the big red puffer coat and Lady Di looking very shy and untrusting of the paparazzi. And then she whipped off this big puffer coat, or parka or whatever it was, and revealed her version of the revenge dress. And I have to say, I like this dress. I thought it looked good on her. It was proportional. Yeah. It really suited her body. And I liked the wig. It wasn't a Lady Di wig at all, but it kind of looked rock and roll and kind of like, for the revenge dress, I liked that she was like, I'm ready to cause some trouble.
I do not like the wig. No. I would have preferred Octavia's barrister's wig to this one. Would have been way more fun. Marmalade was a vision in polka dots.
I just was so impressed, not only because it looked so good on her, but her makeup. Princess Di doesn't wear a lot of makeup like that, but
not anymore.
But I felt that the way she used all that color was very demure and mindful. And it really suited Lady Di, because here was another look that had a Margaret Thatcher wig, but the hat had hid most of it.
True, yeah. This Maggie Thatcher managed to sneak by, because we were distracted by all the beautiful polka dot splendor.
Yeah, if you like it, you better put a hat on it. Just say it.
And then Lavoie was up next, serving us some Princess Diana log flume realness out with the boys.
Oh, she looked
immediately
gorgeous.
Took some water to her face. So funny.
Like a champ.
Like a champ.
Yeah.
And then she had a reveal as well.
Yeah.
to Princess Diana in casual wear, just playing some tennis.
Serving some princess on her way to the racket court. I was very impressed because this wasn't what you'd expect from a Lady Di runway, and yet it was still iconic things that Lady Di was known to wear. Well done, Wilma. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. And the first thing that Ru said was that this is the most charming cast of RuPaul's Drag Race UK ever. And I have to agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. So the tops this week, Relisa, naturally. She killed it. Also, Marms, not only because they liked her, Elton John, but Ru, you know she's going to wrestle her to the ground and take that dress from her.
She loved that dress. She thought it was the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen.
And then, of course, Lavoie. Everyone loved Lavoie. Her Shirley Bassey was killer. Her unique runway was killer. Well done. So they had a good top three for sure. And then another thing that Ru did was she called out Actavia for being lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, love you. Just
you're great. You're fabulous. I love you. Period. And, I mean, shouldn't that have been a safe pass for Actavia? I was like, oh, good for her.
Yeah. I guess she's going to be fine.
Yeah. But that wasn't the case.
It was not the case.
No, it was not the case.
It's not the case in the slightest.
No. This week's winner, Lavoie.
Lavoie, batch number 3.
Third in a row. In a row.
She's steamrolling the competition. Well done, Lavoie. Yeah.
In the bottom this week, Lil and Actavia, and I immediately was worried for Lil because Actavia is just a killer lip syncer.
She's an energetic little dancer, but Lil has already shown us that she's a great lip syncer.
Yeah, having them perform to the Rocky Horror Picture Show's Time Warp was great because it's non-specific gender-wise. It was also an easy dance. You could either do the Time Warp or not. They both did elements of the Time Warp. Actavia certainly threw it down. But Lil was so funny.
It was just so entertaining. Lil,
yeah, I'll watch her do anything.
Yeah. She just always fills me with confidence when I watch her on stage doing anything other than someone else's choreo. Yeah. You just feel like she's taking care of you, and no matter what happens, you're going to be entertained by Lil. Yeah, Actavia did a good job, but she was just cranked up a little.
But either way, it was Lil's win. She shantaed, and it was Actavia who sashayed away. Bless
so much for all the
I'm going to miss her. I really am glad that I met Actavia because she was a good queen.
She was fun. A good queen.
Yeah.
She was fun.
And all the things that were wrong with her in this competition are fixable.
Easily fixable. That Barrister's wig. Just
throw that out. Which brings us to episode 8, Family Makeover. So excited for this challenge.
Yeah, also known as Let's Bring On Our Loved Ones and Cry.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of that. Chera's mom, Pamela, was there, and she was so excited to be there. She gave Ru a hug, and all the queens were jealous. I haven't hugged her. Why
did she touch her? We don't get to touch her. It's in our contracts.
Don't look her in the eye.
We're not allowed to be within 3 feet.
It's called the Pearl Clause.
Yeah.
Relisa's sister, Shawnee, was there, and adorbs, and they seemed very emotional as well.
Lots of crying.
Yeah.
Speaking of crying, Lil's mom, Angela, came in next.
They looked just like each other.
They
already won this challenge, in my opinion. They looked exactly the same.
Weepy people.
Yeah.
Clearly related.
Yeah.
Lots of tears.
They kept laughing so they wouldn't cry. Yeah, it's charming. Speaking of charming, Kyron's partner Richie showed up, and he's cute.
Cutie pie.
I don't know what it is with Britain and ugly haircuts, but that mullet, oof.
Next in was Marmalade's mama, Deborah.
Oh, yeah, she was gorgeous.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah. And she seemed to have the same dry, educated sense of humor that Marms had, so you can see where she gets it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then last but not least, Lavoie's dad, Richard.
Almost 80 years old.
78-year-old Richard.
Oh.
Thrilled to be there.
And Lavoie seemed absolutely surprised. Like, of all the people that they probably said, we want family members that you think would come on Drag Race, I'm sure Lavoie thought for sure her dad wouldn't do it. But there he was, and he was so charming.
What a treat.
He stole the whole show.
What an absolute treat.
As everyone got ready in the workroom, I have to say I was very impressed with Richard's mastery of high heel shoes.
I was very impressed.
There was some stumbling, there were some false steps, but he didn't fall over once, and he was the one I was worried for, because that's the kind of fall that an 80-year-old doesn't come back from.
That'll take you out, that's the fall that takes you out.
Yeah. They asked while they were getting ready, what was Lavoie like as a child? And Richard talked about how he had done this one show, and they felt that it was his coming out, and they were just very supportive. Yeah. They didn't care. Like, we'll just support our child.
But we're not going to talk about it because we're British.
We're British. There was so much crying during this episode.
It was. I mean, as an episode, I was kind of torn because nothing really happened.
No.
I mean, everyone, they all had chats with Ru, and those went really well, and everyone just talked about how supported they were. And then, like, everyone just cried. It was just a big cry fest, which, like, I don't care.
Drag it up.
I don't care. Yeah, this chat, any tic-tac chit-chat, I barely care about. And as soon as they bring out the pictures of their younger selves, I'm immediately going for a snack.
Fast forward.
I do not care.
No.
I do not want feelings.
No.
I want no feelings.
No. Just sparkle and shine.
Just sparkle and shine and show me some pretty.
And then it was Elimination Day, and what surprised me was how well everyone was getting along. Not just the parents with their kids, but the parents with other parents, parents with other kids, vice versa. It was really trying. It took them forever to say good morning. Category is Drag Family Resemblance.
Kicking off the runway this week, Lavoie and her drag father.
Daughter,
father. Voila.
Great name.
Great name.
Yeah.
Great name.
Hilarious.
They were serving some red velvet
curtain.
theater curtain panto dame realness, and they served it up perfectly.
They look gorgeous. I was very impressed, and I really loved their runway, so I'm going to say Fingerdoo. Next up was Marmalade and Just Gem, another cute name.
Cute.
I hated this outfit. I hated these outfits. Where's the drag element to this? Like, they're cute outfits, but they weren't drag. So I was personally disappointed. They were very fashionable, and they both looked great. Mm-hmm. And I liked that because one was jam, the mother was in pink, and the other Marmalade was in yellow. And, perfectly fine. They clearly thought this through, but it wasn't my favorite outfit. I still gave them a Fingerdoo because they looked good, but it wasn't my favorite.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Speaking of not my favorite, next down the runway was Charity and her Mama T.
Mama T.
I thought they looked like two very cheap Valentine's Day gifts.
Yeah.
I thought the fabric looked cheap. I thought the outfits looked cheap. I thought the silhouettes were boring.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a me.
The one thing I did notice about Mama T was when she was in the workroom, she had on the wig that Chera wore down the runway, and it was not as good a wig.
Swamp wigs.
They did, and I admire Chera for putting the better wig on her mom. I just wanted to make a point because I noticed that, and I was like, oh, good for you.
It was nice. It's just too bad that both of the outfits were ugly.
Oh, yeah, bless. Still, I hate to give them a finger don't, but I have to. It wasn't great. It wasn't what it needed to be. Speaking of outfits down the runway I didn't like, Kyron and Richie, or Rubella. I did not. Don't get me wrong, they were fun outfits. They were great, but anybody would have looked like they were from the same drag family in those two outfits because they were just so encompassing.
They were dressed like garbage cans, and they had their little garbage can baby in between them. And it was a fun presentation, and the outfits were fun, but I didn't feel like there was much of a transformation for Rubella.
No.
It just looked like Richie with makeup on.
Yeah.
Not a bad look. But
So I'm going to give them a finger don't as well, but they looked like they were having a ball, and that's the main thing. Yeah.
Having a blast. Speaking of having a blast, next down the runway, Relisa and her sister Lisa.
Yeah.
Good times. I was impressed by this because Relisa had made both of those outfits.
Because that's not an easy... Like, a halter top dress with a cowl neck, fairly easy to make. Like, that's all one piece of fabric with a seam up the back. It's fairly easy, but...
I thought I've made one of those in my sleep. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I see all kinds of... What did you just say? Yeah, those dresses. Those ones. So easy.
I also loved that she gave her sister that big blue cover-up coat, and she'd cut just a trail of the organza fringe off of it, and her sister gave her that little bit to wear, so they met. So fun.
Cute. I like the Coke can hair. Like it was all quite fun.
Yeah, I totally gave them a Fingerdoo. They looked like they were having a ball.
Speaking of balls, closing out the runway was Lil and her drag daughter, Lola Buzzcocks.
What a great outfit.
Great outfits. I have to say, of all the loved ones, Lil's mom definitely killed the runway.
This was not an outfit that was easy for her to wear. Like, even in the workroom, she was a little off-put by the fact, just pants? It's not like there's no skirt. Like, and yet she did not look uncomfortable at all. Her boobs were out. She had tattoos on her, and those straggly wigs were gorgeous. I totally gave these to a Fingerdoo. In fact, this was my favorite outfit of the night.
These are my favorite outfits of the night as well. Yeah, one of my favorite transformations.
Yeah, no kidding. Well done, Lil. Seriously. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. And right off the bat, Michelle had this emotional speech about how great it was to see all of these parents supporting their queer children. And it really started all the tears flowing again. And it was just a lovely way to start the judging.
I was asleep.
You didn't care.
I fell asleep.
You're terrible. I thought for sure that Lil and Lola had this because the judges were just enraptured by their outfit.
Oh, I thought for sure that this was Lil's.
Yeah, she's going to win this.
Finally.
And so she should. Yeah. It was a gorgeous transformation. But no. In fact, the winner this week, surprisingly for me, was Marmalade. Now, Marmalade doesn't have a win, so I'm glad she has a win, but I don't know if she deserved that win.
Did you? It felt to me like they just gave her a win because they felt that she needed a badge, like
to go into the final.
I don't think the outfits were bad.
No, they weren't bad at all. No one's even Charity's outfits weren't bad. They're just simple. In the bottom this week, Charity, naturally,
fair enough,
and Relisa.
Someone had to be. Dave, there's no way Rue was going to put Kyron in the bottom.
No. Although
she loves her too much.
I also thought it was cute that they had to lip sync to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up because Cheryl looks exactly like Rick.
Yeah, out of track, that's Rick Astley. I'm complaining about this. Another boy song.
Yeah, there were a lot of boy songs this year. Yeah. So when the music died, it was Relisa Slave who chanted, and it was, unfortunately, Charity who sashayed away. She wasn't going to win.
She wasn't going to go in. No. I think she was happy that she lasted as long as she did because I don't think
any of us did. That first day I thought, she's a little simple.
Oh God, when she did that 80s thing at the the workout video, that was
terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
I thought she was going to be gone by the second week.
Yeah, no kidding. Which brings us to episode 9, the clown roast. Now I love a roast, but why do they have to dress as clowns?
Why do they gotta be clowns?
I don't understand that.
Be clowns?
I can understand that they wanted to maybe give them something like a distraction for
some sort of theme. I get a theme, but
but it just I didn't get why, so it bothered me.
It did bother me because clowns.
Yeah.
So Relisa decided to pull names out of a hat, and the lineup was Kyron, Lavoie, Lil, and the Marmalade. And then Relisa thought going first
was going to be a good thing.
Seemed like a good thing.
Idiot.
Not a good thing.
No.
And then Lil expressed some trepidation of having to follow Lavoie, so Relisa switched those two around.
Much to Lavoie's chagrin. I thought she was going to flip a table. Like, it's the first time I've seen Lavoie kind of angry.
She's like, what's going on here? Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was jovial anger or real anger.
No. But while the queens were getting ready for the roast, Michael Maruli and Ella Vidae, I couldn't think who it was because she's boring. But they both won their roasts for their seasons. Now, they also said people who win the roast don't win Drag Race, and
foreshadowing.
They're not wrong. Something else that came up during their prep for the roast was Kyron saying she'd been to clown school.
It's not going to help you in a roast.
No.
It's not going to help you the slightest bit in a roast.
And Lavoie said as much. Like, they don't want us to act like clowns. They want us to dress like clowns.
Yeah, the competition isn't getting out of a tiny little car.
Yeah, and I immediately was worried for Kyron because it sounded to me like she was giving this too much thought.
Too much thought. She's like, I'm going to go with the character again because that has served me so well. But I'm like, but isn't drag a character? Like, isn't this a character?
Yeah.
Are you automatically doing a character?
And then it was time for the Clown Roast. Special guest judge this week, Siobhan McSweetie.
Love her.
I love her. She's hosts the British Pottery Throwdown. I've never seen Dairy Girls, if you can believe it. I know, I'm a terrible person. But I love her, and I need to watch Dairy Girls.
So
I know,
funny.
Right? But I was so happy to see Siobhan there, especially for the roast, because she's a comedian. Like, she knows the ins and outs of being funny.
I hate the word comedian.
Do you really?
Oh, I hate it.
You prefer comedian?
Ugh.
It's probably sexist now. Don't genderfy the word.
Some people like it. I'm just you're a comedian.
Yeah.
Just funny ass bitch.
You funny.
Yeah, you funny. It's a funny right here.
And then it was time for the roast, and Relisa Slave kicked it off, and I wish she kicked it harder because this wasn't a roast.
It was not a roast.
She was entertaining. I enjoyed listening to her, but she wasn't that funny.
She was funny enough off the top that I was willing to see where it was going to go. Because she had admitted that she was not planning any jokes and she was just going to kind of see where
things took her.
And they took her down a wandering path to nowhere.
Yeah, quickly.
As soon as she went to her notes, I'm like, oh no, girl, no.
Yeah, no. And the worst thing about her going to her notes is she hadn't been up there long.
No.
You know, it's one thing if, like, your last joke, you all of a sudden, I need to remember what this is. Like, that, I understand. But the second joke in, come on.
Yeah. Something about a buffet, something about the age of drag queens by the sound of their pee. Just,
It wasn't great.
Roasting.
Yeah. But if she had done any of that at a party, it would have been fine.
It would have been hilarious. Yeah. Drunk at a party, I would have laughed my tits off. And also been like, I didn't realize it was weird tits.
What was that sound? Your tits fell off.
My tits fell off.
Oh.
Kyron was up next, and her choice to go as a character, Claggy Crevice.
Yeah, a crevice, yeah.
Mixed results. She had a few funny lines when she was making fun of how dry Kiki's wigs were.
If she had done that for 3 minutes, that would have been brilliant. But she only did a couple, and that's fine. Yeah. She tried. But yeah, she didn't do great, but she wasn't...
As bad as Release.
But she wasn't great. And the other thing is, I think this was the first time that she struggled in a challenge.
Yeah.
And you could see her, the longer she was up there, the more she was worried about struggling.
It's like, I'm not getting my dues, I'm not getting my laurels.
Yeah. So I was a little worried for her because...
It was not great.
Being at the bottom's new for her. Yeah. Suck it up, princess. One of my favorites, but not on purpose, Lil.
Lil was so
as Cheapo the Clown, and none of her jokes were particularly funny until she forgot her jokes.
I don't even know if she wrote jokes. Like her non-jokes were so hilarious.
Yeah.
Something about Lil, it doesn't matter if she's failing.
She's so charming.
Fails with such charm.
Yeah.
Such sweetness.
Yeah, so I quite enjoyed her. And even Siobhan said she would like to see her play within that scope more. And see what she could do.
Yeah, I think Lil's whole thing is it needs to be off the cuff, whether she's dancing, whether she's talking.
Yeah.
She's much better when she's off the cuff and not...
Rehearsal is not her friend.
Next up, Love Walk.
Jesus.
Who showed us what a roast is supposed to be.
First of all, that classic Italian commedia dell'arte clown that she had, the outfit, was just stunning. It was just a classic clown. Like, it looked like a puppet clown. Do you know what she was wearing? And then she just didn't stop. I don't even think she took a breath.
Yeah.
The burns she gave Dita were brilliant. Dita, calm down. Don't talk. Give me a moment. Yep. And then when I put a pause there, she still didn't do it. It was so funny. And poor Dita. Like, she was like, what did I say?
I don't know where I am.
Yeah. And the Dita dinosaur in
tights.
Yeah.
It was nothing was super mean for a roast.
No.
Like if you saw that on paper, you'd be like, well, it's not really that mean. It doesn't feel like a roast. But it felt like a roast when she was delivering it.
It was so fast.
It was quick, and if you didn't like that one, here's another one. But you did like that one, and you were still laughing at that one. When this other one came along, and she made fun of the judges, she made fun of Siobhan's weird mohawk headpiece. She made fun of everyone. It was
Michelle being a DJ, a decrepit judge. So funny. But yeah, I was very, very... Like, it was clear right there and then who was winning this. Yeah. And I'm sorry everyone else had to follow her.
Which was only Marmalade.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm just going to say, I was impressed with Marmalade.
Yeah.
She could have been less funny, because she's very intelligent, and a lot of her humor is very dry. And there was one joke... 2 or 3 in, that was a little meaner than the others, and it kind of threw the audience off for a second. But she was great. I thought she did a great job. It wasn't the best.
It was not the best.
Especially following Lavoie, It was like, well, there's the bar.
The problem with Marmalade was there wasn't enough funny to go with the mean. Yeah. Like, it was more like, you're a fat slag.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got terrible teeth.
And then it was time for the runway, and category is...
Semi-final vinyl.
That's right. I'm glad Relisa went first because she was the least impressive. She didn't look bad, but it just wasn't... It's just a vinyl clear raincoat.
Yeah, clear raincoat.
We've seen that.
She was trying to go for a bit of a Liechtenstein thing with the makeup, which didn't quite come through. No. Like, you're like, oh, I see the things you... Oh, and that's the coat supposed to be an illustration. Okay, I kind of see it, but...
Yeah, I had to give her a Fingerdoo.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice to see her out of her clothes again.
She didn't look bad, but it wasn't a runway outfit. No. That's all.
It was for a semi-final?
Yeah, she needed more than that.
Next down the runway was Kyron Thrax serving some red
spiky
vinyl.
Realness,
Was it a dress? Was it chaps? Who knows?
It looked like she was trying to go to the bathroom and her skirt was down around her bum. Do you know what I mean? It was weird at first. I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but she looked gorgeous.
Yeah. Lots of fun black spikes coming off of it. Just a good
The wig
time.
was great. spikes on the runway, not new. Vivacious was the first to wear spikes.
Back in season 6, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people have definitely worn spikes since. But I have to say, I like this one. This wasn't the worst spike ever.
Yeah. It felt very on brand.
I gave her a Fingerdoo because it was clean, it looked good, it was vinyl. What more do you want?
Here's what I wanted. I wanted Lil coming down the runway in her Marilyn Monroe / Gimp outfit. The outfit I didn't know I needed in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed that mashup.
Stunning.
It was so stupid and beautiful.
When she came out and you saw the black and the pink and the white wig, you knew who it was.
Yeah.
But the black, I remember going, what is she wearing? And then she turned around and was like, oh, that's brilliant.
Gorgeous.
That's right. She totally got a Fingerdoo for me. In fact, this was one of my favorite outfits for the season.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
All of Marm's were my favorite, but this one from Lil, stunning. Right up there with her mom makeover outfit.
Yeah. Which is such a fun little mashup that I didn't know I needed.
No. Yeah.
Fingerdoo.
Yeah, Fingerdoo indeed.
All the do's.
Lavoie's take on semi-final vinyl was actual records, and these were her dad's 45s. And they were all over. She looked very Mad Max, Thunderdome.
Yeah, Starlight Express.
Yep, Starlight Express. Yeah. There were a lot of great references for this look, and I thought Lavoie looked great. I mean, was it the best look on the runway? It wasn't the worst. So I totally gave her a Fingerdoo.
Speaking of the best look on the runway, they saved the best for last.
Yeah, they really did.
Marmalade and her golden gramophone was absolutely beautiful.
I didn't realize how much of that dress was vinyl, because she took the same route as Lavoie records, vinyl records.
Yeah, I didn't realize all that stuff on the skirt was cut up.
She had cut
records.
them all, and if you don't follow Marms on Instagram, you should, because she's got a lot of videos where she's showing you condensed her making all of her outfits for RuPaul's Drag Race, and I get no money for this, but she has a calendar of all her looks on RuPaul's Drag Race. So, yeah, well done for Marms. This was the only thing I have to say is I hated the back of this, because the gramophone was kind of attached to her back, but it really wasn't. It just seemed to be resting there, and I wish that there hadn't been any piping back there, and it had just maybe finished in a curl or something, and just left it like.
Unresolved.
We didn't need to have a way for the sound to come out. You know what I mean?
I did like her needle finger.
Her finger, yeah.
I thought
brilliant.
That was a beautiful touch. Yeah.
Fingerdoo for Marmalade. Seriously. And then it was time for the judges' critiques. The queens that were obviously in the top, Lavoie and Marmalade.
Yeah.
And rightly so. They both they killed the runway. They were very strong in the roast, but Lavoie was winning.
Yeah, the judges kind of felt that Marmalade was on the wrong side of mean and bitchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If she had maybe left it not so mean and bitchy, she might have done a little better. But it didn't matter.
A roast is there's supposed to be some love behind it.
Yeah.
It's a brick, but it's wrapped in a velvet glove.
I love that Lavoie got the last badge, 4 badges for the season, the most. And for somebody who came into this being afraid of being the older one and being up against these younger, more innovative queens, and not getting a badge the first couple of episodes. Like, she kind of got her badges late, but then it was like 3 in a row and then the 4th one. Yeah. So, well done for Lavoie. She totally nailed that. But the queens in the bottom, Lisa, and Lil. And I get it. If I were going to pick the 2 bottom ones, I would pick those 2 too, because they just, of the group, they just weren't as strong. And they had to sing David Guetta's
Crazy What Love Can Do.
Crazy What Love Can Do. And this was a fun song for them to do. I think that Lisa really danced it up. I also loved what Lil did. She didn't do a bad job.
No, I think what held Lil's performance back was just the gimp mask. Honestly, like not being able to see that much of her face took away from the performance for a little bit, and Lisa did a great job.
Yeah, I also love that Lil got rid of that skirt. I just wish she'd done it earlier.
Yeah, a little bit sooner.
Yeah, but either way, it was Lisa who shantaed, and then it was Lil, our lover girl, who sashayed away. It was
one of my faves all season.
Yeah, but well done for
Well
Lil.
done, Lil.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah. Which brings us to the finale.
The grand final, finally.
We kicked the episode off with Lavoie rubbing her 4 badges in Kyron's face, which
Kyron seemed to enjoy.
Well, Kyron didn't have a problem, but they seem to have a good, healthy rivalry, where they're taking the piss out of each other, but they're not being mean.
Well, they were the front runners, and they knew each other were the front runners,
Yeah.
and so they basically were like, well, it's between you and me.
Yeah. I love that Marmalade through the whole episode kept saying, well, I'm going to win. I mean, it's like, you keep saying that, you're jinxing yourself. Yeah.
Girl, no. Girl, no. So RuPaul introduced the final challenge of the season, which was writing some verses. And
for a song, yeah.
For a song, for, the finale song.
Which they had to sing live, didn't they?
Did they?
I don't know, they had mics on. Like, I don't know. Okay. I don't care. But either way, they all had to write their own lyrics for this song and perform it on the runway stage. They
had to also learn some choreo with Cutie Pie, little choreographer Aaron Redford. We've been hiding him.
He can double sachet anytime. Woo! Yeah, cute.
Yeah.
And I think that helped the queens get their choreo. Like they were they kept forgetting what they were doing because they kept falling into his eyes. Or something. I don't really know. I was busy. I was busy falling too. While they were getting ready for the final runway, Ginger Johnson, last year's winner, showed up to, I don't know, give them some advice, give them a chitty chat. I don't know. It was funny to watch the queens because they kept kind of listening to her, but then going back to their makeup.
Yeah, we're
busy.
Yeah.
We're busy, honey.
We're busy.
But it was so nice to see her. I really like Ginger. I enjoyed her on her season. I'm glad she won, so it was nice to see her again.
Oh, we skipped over the tic-tac chit-chat because that happened.
We already did that kind of with the family makeover. They were all having those teary moments with Ru, so I don't really feel like that this needed to happen again.
No.
But, there is a rhythm to the show, and I don't know. Which brought us to the runway. Ru looked stunning in metallic pink. This was another outfit I loved.
Cinnamon bun on her one hip, though. That was a weird choice.
I know a lot of the angles they shot her at were above the waist, so I didn't really get a lot of it. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Just wondering, because from the side, I imagine it would look remarkably like a sparkly anus, perhaps.
If you're gonna put an anus on your hip, sparkle it up.
Sparkle it up, so people are like, "Is that what I?"
Where do you get a sparkly anus?
You just eat sparkly things.
Yeah. Do you know how much Swarovski crystals are?
I swore off crystals.
And then it was time for their number. And as I said, they all had mics on, but I feel like they were lip-syncing because they sounded great.
And I have to say, I quite enjoyed this song. It was a very catchy...
It was cute.
...little tune.
Yeah.
I was well done. I was tapping a toe. Felt like it could have been...
Much more fun than the Rusical.
Much more fun. Yeah. Who wrote this song? Because they should write the rest of them.
Yeah,
because it felt like it was from like a Broadway or West End show. It was like, okay, it was very campy. Yeah. It was very fun.
Yeah.
I don't really remember too much of anyone's lyrics.
No.
That much.
No, I couldn't tell you anything about the song, but I do remember enjoying it.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. Tap a toe. Cha-cha-cha.
Tappa.
One thing that I thought was cute was on the reprise of the song, all the eliminated queens came out.
It was nice. We got to see all the queens again. We got to see Lil counting her way through the choreo.
Still can't dance. Still can't follow choreography. Bless her heart.
But it was good, because when it was just the four of them up there, like, Relisa was clearly outshining them in the dance. So I think it was good that they brought the rest of the queens in to just disguise the fact that the other three are, not the strongest dancers.
Yes. You can't be good at everything. But you can't suck at things either. Just saying. And then it was time for the final runway. Category is Grand Finale Eleganza. All the queens came out. Every one of them came out in an outfit. And I think that's great because I think a lot lot of them had a finale dress in their dance bag ready to go, and why not show it off?
Why not show it off?
Yeah, and they needed to kill some time. This wasn't a material-heavy challenge or episode. Yeah.
Like, we don't really need to see them struggle with choreo or struggle with lyrics. Like, we've seen that before.
Yes. We're done. We're good.
Although I was confused, like, Saki, it was like, this was your finale? I think this was your...
I don't think of her as being like a to-dog queen. I think she's...
I don't think of her at all. I think of her as a falling down in the shower kind of queen.
The one dress for me that was a little questionable was Charity's prolapse dress.
Yeah,
like when you wear a dress down the runway, the first thing the judges say is prolapse. You have to know you failed.
You failed?
Yeah.
Who was it that had the intestines at the bottom of there? It was the Hyra.
Oh, it was the Hyra. Yeah.
She had some intestines. It was very strange.
Weird.
It was weird. Although I have to say with Kiki finally had a nice wig. She had a nice big wig on.
She looked great, yeah.
It was great. She had a dress that didn't quite fit. So she
even during the roast, I thought she looked good.
Mm.
She had a better wig on and better makeup. But
she's listening.
Yeah,
good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Do you know what dress I did not like? Because it was a little too vivid. Lil's ode to Joan of Arc. It was gorgeous.
I love
it. It was gorgeous, but it was still a little too graphic, like the blood and the bruising and stuff like that.
Perfect.
But it was a gorgeous outfit. The crystal work on her outfit was stunning.
That was one of my favorite runways. I loved how graphic and vivid it was. Yeah. The only thing that would have made it more Joan of Arc realness is if she'd actually been on fire.
And then it was time for the top 4 queens to hit the runway. Kyron was first, and I am just going to say, I thought it was packing tape on that dress, but it was actually organza, strips of organza.
It was packing tape too.
Yeah, no, it was fabric. Like when they got up close to it, I could see that it was fabric.
I was very confused by this outfit because when the judges were talking about it, they're like, "Oh, this gorgeous fabric." I'm like, it looked like a very simple dress that she'd wrap some tape around.
Yeah.
I was underwhelmed by this dress, but clearly it looked better in person.
I was more impressed with it when I realized that she hadn't just wrapped herself up in packing tape, so I gave her a Fingerdoo.
I never realized that, so I gave her no fingers.
Yeah, well, you're famous for that.
I don't know anything.
You don't give a finger.
I don't give a finger.
No.
I barely give a fig. I love figs. I'm not sharing them.
No. I did like Lavoie's dress, but I wish the top had been different because it was just a nude top with a lot of jewelry. A lot of
jewels, yeah.
It was fine, but the skirt just seemed to float there. It was just a weird thing. I'm giving her a Fingerdoo because she looked gorgeous, but it was a weird dress, that's all.
It was fun. I liked the poofiness of it. I liked the, toilet brush holder, doll.
Yeah.
Those dolls that just hide your toilet paper. That was kind of the feel that it was giving me, but I quite enjoyed it because it kind of felt like she had saved a little Lavoie-ness for the finale. And she's like, this is what I love to wear. This is what I'm wearing. Mm.
Yeah, I totally gave her Fingerdoo because she was gorge, but it wasn't my favorite Lavoie outfit of the season.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised that Marmalade even managed to make it onto the runway with this absurd, over-the-top Rococo French, I don't know what it was, hiding a dresser.
A groaning board or whatever
just,
it was.
It was stupid.
It was weird. I didn't like it out of the gate because I didn't understand why it was flat. Like if she had a gimmick where she lifted it up and there were drawers there or something, I would have been very impressed. But it wasn't a bad dress. And for that kind of Marie Antoinette Panier French Revolution dress, this was a great take on it with the flat board. And the one thing I noticed, though, the hem on this, and I hate to say it for Marmalade because she's such a good sewer, but the hem didn't seem to be hemmed. Do you know what I mean? It just seemed kind of like an afterthought. But still, I totally gave her a Fingerdoo.
Hem. She couldn't see the hem past that.
It was hard. Yeah, she should have hemmed it before she put it on. Yeah. But I still gave her a Fingerdoo.
Yeah, I liked this outfit. I didn't know what I was looking at, and I loved it because it was just dumb.
Yeah.
It was dumb and stupid and pretty and all the things that I love in drag.
Nice.
Yeah, well done, Marmalade.
Yeah, she had a good season on that runway, yeah.
And then last but not least, serving up some Moschino Barbie was Relisa.
She looked gorgeous.
She looked gorgeous. Yeah. She had more clothes on than I expected her to have.
Ever. The whole season, this was the most that she had on.
She was very nicely branded. She looked great. She looked really good.
Yeah, I totally gave her a Fingerdoo, and I was very impressed with this look. I thought that was the perfect time for her to wear something that full. A lot of fabric.
A lot of fabric, yeah.
Of course, we had to sit through them talking to their 5-year-old selves, which we're not going to do here because who cares?
So while the judges deliberated, they sent the queens off to do their final untucked, throw a bunch of shade at Chanel, and all vote for Miss Congeniality.
Yeah. When they got back to the stage, it was Charity that won Miss Congeniality, and so she should. Adorable. Yeah. I would have picked Lil because she seemed to be very nice as well, but any one of those queens, there were short of Chanel, there was nobody there that I think didn't deserve to be Miss Congeniality.
If they'd heard all the nasty things that Cher's been saying in her confessionals, they might not have given her
That's what the confessionals are for.
So it's a good thing that this happens before that.
Yeah. And then Rue wasted no time telling Relisa and Marmalade it wasn't their time.
Thanks, but no thanks.
And they both took it so well. Yeah. Okay, well, 2 of us weren't getting it, so I think they also kind of knew. I think everyone knew it was between Lavoie and Kyron.
And they lip sync to another boy, but a very gay one.
Yeah.
To Queens, Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah. This was a fun one for them to do.
This was a really fun lip sync, and I was quite concerned for Lavoie in that big meringue skirt of hers. Yeah. I was like, oh, Kyron's got this in the bag.
Kyron's outfit lent itself to that song more.
But Lavoie did a great job. I thought she was amazing running around. I was thoroughly entertained by by Lavoie's.
Yeah, when the music died, I wasn't sure who'd won. I wanted Lavoie to win only because I thought she really did an excellent job. But I also wasn't sorry to see Kyron be in the running for a win because she killed it. And there was a moment there when I'm watching them perform where I thought, Lavoie has a career. She's booked. She does panto. She's doing cruises. You're going on a cruise where she's.
I'm going on a cruise where Lavoie's performing.
Yeah. And so it's the one thing that being on Drag Race has done for her. It hasn't given her a career, but it's helped her escalate her career.
Giving her a nudge.
She can charge more and things like that. Kyron, on the other hand, she's still a new queen. Like she's still doing bar gigs. So for her to get this boost to her career is excellent because I think she's capable of handling it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I wasn't sorry that the winner of Drag Race UK Season 6 was Kyron Thrax. Well done.
Well done, Kyron.
Yeah, she did a great job.
I knew Lavoie wasn't getting it during the Tic Tac chit chat. Because just all the stuff that Ru was saying was just like, I was like, oh yeah, oh what a boost, oh yeah, this is great for you. It's like,
you've got a career, you've got a career, you've got a career. It's like,
you're just saying that this is great for your already great career. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you're giving it to Lavoie.
Yeah.
Which is too bad.
Yeah, I thought this was one of my favorite Drag Race UK seasons.
It really was.
The queens were delicious. There wasn't, short of Chanel, there wasn't a dud in the box.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed how these queens not only performed, but worked with each other.
They were just a fun crew. Like, even when they were having some drama, some issues, they would resolve it, and they seemed to move on.
Yeah.
So there was no bitchiness. There was no unnecessary drama. There was no kicking people when they were down. There was just Chanel, and that was fine because it's nice to have someone to hate.
You have to hate somebody, or it's a boring season.
It's a boring season.
But how about you? Are you happy with who won? Do you think somebody else should have won? My only critique about this season was Lil not winning the makeover.
Yeah.
I feel like she was robbed there, but I mean, it wouldn't have changed much for the final that we saw, but I was very impressed with everyone and everything. And let me know what you thought. If you pick somebody else to win, let me know down below in the description box. And while you're down there, don't forget to give this channel a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the Fingerdoo review with more than a comment, there's the YouTube thanks button just below this screen. There's also my OG Tipperdoo link in the description box, along with my Redbubble link for my Redbubble store where we have a new Christmas outfit.
Christmas merch.
That's it down there right now.
Gorgeous.
It's
Look at us.
the fabulous Lara D'Souza
Sugar
created
Plum
this.
Fairies.
Yeah, so that's available right now at Redbubble. I also have a link to my Patreon page where the Fingerdoo family meets twice a month for live chats. So until we get to our year end, because we have the obituaries.
Yeah.
We do that every year where we talk about who died.
Who died?
We'll do a recap of Drag Race Canada and Drag Race Down Under, but Drag Race starts January 5th.
Well, let's do that
5th or 3rd. We're going to do that one.
Let's do that.
Yeah, because that's going to be a train wreck. It'll be fabulous. So, until next time, this us! Mwah! Seriously. That was fun. I can't believe we did 4 episodes.
I can't believe we did 4 episodes.
In that quick.
Yeah, I didn't even watch them. I was just making stuff up as we went along. I was like, this probably happened.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Chanel probably came back and shot a bunch of people. Isn't that what happened?
Isn't that what happened?
You can
She
edit
went on
that
a
out,
rampage?
that's not what happened.
She's Scottish. They tend to be angry.
Ooh,
I'm Scottish. I know.
throw a haggis right at your face.
Right at your face.
Explains. What's going on with your face? I've grown accustomed to your haggis face.
You're so mean.
Am I?
You are.
The truth hurts.
You hate me.
I don't. I just am disappointed.
I am too.
And I question it. Question our choices.
Well, have a happy holiday too. Yeah, I guess I won't see you until the new year. Fabulous.
You're not coming over for Christmas?
Oh no, I'm doing that, but I'm talking this.
Oh, yeah. No, don't come over and drag.
No, it's too much work.
Oh, no.
It's too much
You'll never get an Uber. They'll never pick you up on Christmas Day.
No, they'll just leave me
Look
there.
at this one. Ooh, leave me.
No, all the other Ubers will drive by to look.
You'll be like, ugh, look at that elf. Fat elf.